Is there any proper education about this immigration thing?
How is the process for registering the business and how to manage the finances?
Meet Patrick. Born and raised in Ghana, he's been living in Canada for the past 4 years right now. He has a big mission on his heart. He wants to start an immigration consultancy business in order to serve the people who are looking to move over to Canada to start life here. But he wants them to have the right information because there's so much garbage out there and so many people telling you things that don't make sense. And so he is here today seeking information on how to do business the right way, the tools he's gonna need, the information he needs about accounting and taxes, and everything in between. This conversation confirmed for Patrick the things that he knows, but also points him in the direction of the things that he needs to figure out in order to create a successful immigration consultancy business. What are the things that other people do? How do they collect money? How should he collect money? How does he get to collect the funds from the people who are locally in Ghana or in countries where online payment is not yet accepted, but do have options like mobile money? What's the right way to do that? A lot of people are doing stuff. Does it mean it's right? Let's dive into this conversation with Patrick.
A lot of people say different things here and there, social media, but it is not organized, and the information that they are giving out there are in pieces. So this person says this person says that, but then what is the way out of it? And is there any proper education about this immigration thing? Because it's very important for people to actually have a deeper understanding of it and actually talk about it and know what is there. But they don't get that. It's like person says this, okay, I heard this here and there, but then is there a verifiable source? No.
Patrick is originally from Ghana. He has been in Canada for 4 years now. So you're on the Newcomer Finance 101 show. How can I help?
Yeah, so like you said, I've been here for some time now. I'm from Ghana, West Africa. I've always had a desire to be on my own for some time, like in some time to come. So, but then sometimes I get confused, where to start from, how to do certain things, because most times I see a lot of things happening online, like some, small businesses, if I may say, that are thriving. But I have the ideas, I have a little bit, money, but don't know how to put things in structure to make it work. So that's the reason why I'm actually here.
Okay. All right. So what's your question?
Okay, so like how is the process? How is the process like registering the business, setting up the business, like getting a structure for the business? Because right now I know we are in the tech world.
Mhm.
So what technological tools can a small business use to to properly propel him or her into the to his target market. So like the technological tools to use, that is one thing, and how to manage the finances, like how to manage your finances. Do you need some accountants? Like how do you set up the payment system if you are trying to connect to clients from outside Canada? Like how do you do the payment system, like taxes, those kind of things, like a structure.
Okay. Your questions are very broad,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to make
Yeah.
this very useful to you. So
Mm-hmm.
go narrow with your question. Like, have you decided that you want to incorporate a business, or are you still trying to decide that you want to incorporate? What kind of business is it? What tools are you looking at, and what does it need to do for you?
Okay, so right now I'm thinking about something like a consultancy. So consultancy basically in like immigration consultancy, like to help people migrate to Canada, like student visa, permanent residence, like all type of immigration, Canada immigration, yes.
Hmm.
So like immigration consultancy, yeah.
Okay. You have a legal background, or what kind of background do you have?
I don't have a legal background. There is a training program, like a course, a diploma course, like a 1 year diploma course at Queen's University that you can sign up to. So once you are done by the exams, and then when you pass, you get the license, to practice as an immigration consultant. Yeah. So I've actually applied for the course. Hopefully, I'm hoping that by January, I can start and then do that.
Okay.
The next year, January 2024, by December 2024, I should be done with it.
Okay. And that's going to make you a legal, as in legal, not as in official, but legal as in the law side of things. It's going to give you
Yeah,
a
the law
law
side of
stamp.
immigration. Yeah. to be able to represent people, like, yeah,
Okay.
to be able to represent people in terms of their immigration issues also. Yes, something like
Okay. Now that I have more context, what is it
that.
you're struggling with that?
Okay, so right now, like I said, one thing I would need help with is the finances, like how to structure payment system, and then link it to taxes because it's actually going to be a firm, you know, that will be taking money from people. So how do I do that? Like the payment, taxes, accounting, like everything about money side there,
Hmm.
and then also how to automate some of the processes, you know, to make it more simple instead of the manual way of doing stuff. So, for example, something I would like to do is creating an appointment system, so that people can book an appointment or talk to them.
Okay. There are lots of tools for every
Hmm.
single one of these things that you're asking for. For
Hmm.
example, you are here with me, and to
Hmm.
get here, you booked an appointment with me,
Hmm.
and you automatically got a response with a link on where and when we're gonna meet.
Hmm.
All I had to do was to send you an email to say click here to then book this
Hmm.
appointment.
Hmm.
So that is a kind of tool that you would need to be able to send people to a page where they can book an appointment, and then they
Hmm.
have a place where they can meet you.
Hmm.
I'm not sure if I sent you Tidycall or Calendly. I use both,
Yes, I saw
but
both of them.
yeah. And some of them do have free versions,
Hmm.
but there are some advanced features that you would want to have that
Hmm.
would be on paid version. So it depends on what is it that you're looking for the appointment scheduling tool to be able to have,
Hmm.
right? And it's going to take care of that aspect of it.
Hmm.
Now, to automate, so for example, you want people to go on a page somewhere, you want a place where you could send people to then go and click on a link to book an appointment with you.
Yeah.
But you don't want everybody to have that ability to go and book an appointment with you without having validated them in a way. Like, right, like I could take my appointment and put on TikTok, and the whole of
Hmm.
TikTok could can book on my calendar, and they're filling on my calendar for nothing.
Hmm. Hmm.
Or I could find a way of filtering people so that only pre-qualified people can get to book on my calendar, because when something shows up on my calendar, then I have to be there for that appointment. So do you want
Hmm.
everybody booking on your calendar? Now it's a matter of creating those systems
Hmm.
to be able to achieve whatever result it is you're trying to achieve. So there's going to
Hmm.
be lots of things that you have to consider to then figure out, where are my clients? How
Hmm.
am I reaching them and filtering them to know that these are the people that qualify, or these are possible leads, or these are possible
Hmm.
people who can do business with me? Because you
Hmm.
know and I know that almost everybody who doesn't currently have a job in Africa wants to travel, and some people who do have the job still want to travel for different reasons. It could be oppression, it could be I just want to explore the world, it
Hmm.
could be I'm tired of where I am, or it could be
Hmm.
let's go see what is out there. Like, different people
Hmm.
have different reasons. Does everybody qualify as a client for you? That's a question for you. Who are
Yeah.
the people that could be clients? Where can you find them? And how can you make sure that you filter the people that find their way into your calendar booking system? Those are things that you have to figure out and then put the
Hmm.
structure in place so that you can have that. Right? You think
Hmm.
about those things. Now, when
Hmm.
you come to the taxes and the accounting side, those are
Hmm.
very broad, and it
Yeah,
depends
I
on what
know.
structure you're choosing
Yeah.
to have. Now, because from my understanding of how some immigration consultancies work, because I've had a
Hmm.
client who is an immigration consultant, but it's not on the legal law side of
Hmm.
things. It's actually just on the consulting side of things, whereby they help students coming from South America
Hmm.
to have admission into schools in Canada.
Hmm.
They're not doing legal elements of business. They are doing
Hmm.
the consulting side, where we are going to act as the intermediary to help you find a school, and then we can be the ones communicating with the school on your behalf
Hmm.
to secure everything. We're going to be your address, we're going to be this, we're going to be that. And when it's time to pay fees, then you send the money to us, we send the money to the school, we take a
Mm-hmm.
cut, our fee becomes there's something to work out. It's either with the
Yeah.
school or it's with the student, but it's
Mm-hmm.
about what structure is your business taking.
Okay.
Now,
I get it.
I'm sure when you go through the course, the diploma course at Queen's, you
Mm-hmm.
will then decide specifically what direction you want to take your business,
Mm-hmm.
unless you've already decided that.
Yeah, I've already decided that. Oh yeah, I've
Hmm.
actually decided that. So like it's a very broad space. Like it's a very
Yeah.
broad space. So for the meantime, I have the idea. Like I'm very knowledgeable about those things. But I need it's like a doctor who learned from maybe his dad, so he can actually do most of the surgical work, everything. But it's a you need a proper license to be able to do that. So for the
Right.
school, I'm just actually going there for the license, but for the work itself, how to do it, I actually know how to do it. So that I can be responsible for everything. So for that,
Great.
I'm looking into temporary immigration, that's study permit, work permit, and then into permanent residency, express entry, those kind of things, and family sponsorship, to bring your family here if you're already in Canada. And then the third part would be, refugee side of thing, like people who want to claim asylum in Canada, working with the Immigration and Refugee Board of Canada to, help these people transition into Canada. So it's actually going to be about 3 or 4 areas that I'm looking at. So I have a couple of people that I have in mind that, they are going to help me do all these things. Like, so the structure in terms of the firm, whatever, the aim, the goal, our objective, those ones are already there. So once I get the license, then I'll make it more public and start the ball rolling. Yes, but for everything I've
Okay.
been following for a very long time. Yeah.
Okay. That's awesome. So then, specific questions then.
Mhm.
You intend to be the sole owner of the company, or you intend to make like a partnership?
I was trying to incorporate it, kind of, but
Yeah.
then yeah. So just myself and maybe my
Okay, you will
partner,
be the
maybe.
sole owner, but you would
Yeah.
create a team of people that you'll be working
Yes.
with.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So once you are a corporation, once you incorporate the business,
Hmm.
you become a separate legal entity, like you would be aware already. You have a separate
Hmm.
business which
Hmm.
has to do its own tax returns. Now, once you have a business, you get to choose its year end. Every individual has to file taxes based on the January to December cycle. Your company gets to choose its year end. Its year end is not automatically December. You get to choose what year end you want for it to be.
Hmm.
Most people default to December just because it's easier. It's
Yeah.
easier because that's the end of the year, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
People in the immigration space that deal with students, some of them follow
Hmm.
the school cycle, so that as one
Hmm.
school year is ending, they are also
Hmm.
ending their fiscal year and then they start the new year. It just
Hmm.
depends on whatever it is you choose. But once you
Hmm.
choose it, you have to stick with it.
Hmm.
There's a process to changing it later on, but like, is it changeable? Yes, but it's better to just make that informed decision off the bat, and then you choose what year and you want to have, right?
Hmm.
And if I'm saying things that you already know, just tell me you already know those ones, and then I go to the more advanced stuff.
No, 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 no. Keep
Okay.
on going.
So once you incorporate the company, let's say you
Hmm.
become Patrick's Immigration Consultancy Inc.,
Hmm.
for example.
Hmm.
Inc. is the legal structure of the business because it's a corporation. You can call it
Hmm.
Limited Inc., Corp, or whatever. There are
Hmm.
certain names that you have to assign to it.
Hmm.
That business is now like a new baby. It has its own social insurance number, which is a business
Hmm.
number, and everything
Hmm.
that it deals with the government gets done on that business number. It's not you, it's
Hmm.
that company doing everything
Okay.
with the business. Now you could become an employee of your business
Hmm.
if you
Wow.
want.
Hmm.
As the owner of the business, there are two ways you can take money out of that company. You can
Hmm.
take money out of the company as a salary, so you become an employee. That
Hmm.
means that Patrick's Consultancy Inc.
Hmm.
has an employee called Patrick, and it's going to pay Patrick a salary,
Hmm.
and the Inc. is going to deduct taxes from Patrick's salary and
Mm-hmm.
remit that to the government
Mm-hmm.
on a frequency that has been decided by the government.
Mm-hmm.
Could be
Mm-hmm.
monthly, could be quarterly, could be twice a month. It just depends on how much payroll you have.
Okay.
Right. So
Yeah.
once you've created a company, or I was saying there are two ways to take money out, either as a salary or
Mm-hmm.
as a dividend, you being
Mm-hmm.
the owner. Now, making the choice between salary and dividend, that's a deeper discussion that you need to have with your accountant. That also happens to be me at this time. But those are things that you get to decide at a later date,
Mm-hmm.
right? But it's good
Yeah,
that you
so that's why I said I have a lot of things to talk to you about. I actually wanted to reach out to you. So when I saw this thing, it was like an icebreaker for us to get in there. So that's the reason why I'm
yes.
actually here. Yeah, because we have a lot of things to talk about. Yeah, that's for sure.
So okay, so we're still talking about the taxes side now.
Mm-hmm.
Either salary or dividend, those are decisions that have to be taken, like taking other things into consideration.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just you taking money out of the company. But the company has to pay different kinds of taxes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if it has employees, aka Patrick is an employee of the company, it pays payroll taxes.
Mm-hmm.
If it's registered for sales taxes,
Mm-hmm.
which every business that makes more than $30,000 in a year
Mm-hmm.
and is selling taxable services is required to register for sales taxes.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're under 30K, you get to choose. You're considered a small supplier. You can choose to register, you can choose to not register. But once you're beyond 30K in a year, you're required to register for sales taxes.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some rules around that, like the very specifics we can get into. Now,
Mm-hmm.
if you register for sales taxes, what that simply means is that you get to, once you serve somebody and let's say you charge them $1,000, you have to add on top of whatever you're charging them the tax rate for the place where they're located at.
Mm-hmm.
Now that might be different from for you if you're serving people who are still out of Canada and
Mm-hmm.
their address is out of Canada, you will not be charging them sales taxes
Mm-hmm.
because you charge sales taxes based on where you're delivering, based on the address of the recipient,
Mm-hmm.
right? But the advantage to registering for sales taxes is that you get to deduct whatever taxes that other people charge you. Say, for example, I bill your company
Mm-hmm.
and I bill plus taxes. You're
Mm-hmm.
paying me plus taxes, but whatever taxes you paid to me, if you were registered, you get to deduct that from whatever taxes you paid, from whatever taxes you collected, I mean, in the
Mm-hmm.
sales tax side.
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah.
So there's payroll taxes, the sales taxes, and then there is corporate income taxes, which means at the end of its fiscal year, if you
Mm-hmm.
chose December, then it's December. Your company then has to pay taxes on its profit.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's the one that is actually like an expense to the company, because the sales taxes is just net of what you collected minus what you paid. That's what you remit into the government. Your payroll
Mm-hmm.
taxes is what you take from your employees, plus your own portion of it. But your corporate income taxes is your profit in the company. Now they say, hey, you made a profit. Now pay us our share. So you get to pay a certain portion of that to Quebec and another portion to Canada.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Too much info?
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Mm.
And we haven't touched the accounting side of things yet. We're just looking
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
taxes
Mm-hmm.
that you need to deal with.
Yeah. We're just looking at the overview here.
Yeah. Should I keep
Yeah.
going?
Yeah. Keep going.
Or you have a question?
No, I don't have any question for now. So keep going. If there's anything,
Okay.
keep going. Yeah.
Now, on the accounting side of things,
Mm-hmm.
you want to set up your systems such that you have accurate record keeping
Yeah.
from the very beginning. Because if you don't have a good set of numbers, like once the government starts knocking on your door, like we need to see this XYZ, like that's where you start scrambling, scratching your head, like I don't know what to do. But if you had set up the system from the very beginning,
Mm-hmm.
then when they knocks like I want to see this, or you want to see this, here it is. And it just once your stuff is clean, like they don't knock at your door. So personally, I put all of my clients on QuickBooks just because it's very easy to use. And for me, that's really something that I prefer using. When it gets to that point, it's about looking like, is this a software that is going to be of service to your business? Is it adequate
Mm-hmm.
for what you need? Now, it depends on what it is that you need. what you want to see. Like there are certain things, for example, schools want to be able to track certain fields or certain elements of the thing. So there's going to be maybe like a CRM or customer relationship management tool that you want to have to be able to track from your leads and all of that. That's different from your accounting system. So
Mm-hmm.
that's a separate system that you might want to have. But on the accounting side, it's about the numbers, it's about the finances, it's about your reporting, so that at the end of the year you have information that you're going to then prepare your taxes, or at the end of each period you have the information that you can then prepare your taxes, prepare your numbers, know your finances, know how your things are going. Am I making money? Am I losing money? And stuff like that. So it's a lot. It, like that's why I said this is a very broad
Yeah, yeah,
topic, and
yeah. I know. I
each of
know.
those
Like I
topics
said,
could
it's
take an
just
hour on its own.
it's yeah, yeah. Like I said, today is just an iceberg, like just tip of the iceberg. So actually, I know we can cover a lot here. So I actually have to come back again for proper consultancy, setting things up and all those kind of things. But
Yeah.
today just to open up and see what might be coming. That's I have to prepare in the upcoming days. Yeah.
So based on what I've said right now,
Hmm.
does it seem like something you still want to do? Creating
Of
a
course,
business? Of
of
course,
course,
yeah. I was
of
hoping that
course.
would still be the answer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course, of course. Of course, yeah, of course. Actually, like I said, in terms of the business for the structure, like for the structure of the business, for that one is very, very clear, right? But now, I'm right now, if I'm reading or doing anything, it has got to do more with like the finances, like with the tech tools, streamline processes so that like everything can be very organized. So like you said something in terms of like around the QuickBooks so that you can get data, if I'm right. Like you can
Your
keep
finances,
records.
your report.
Yes, you can keep
Yes.
records
Yeah.
of everything that is actually going on, so that it wouldn't be like everything is helter skelter, haphazardly here and there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So for that, I'm working on to draw that one down, like to have a framework for that. How our finances were coming, what tools we are going to use. So for the QuickBook, I've seen it. The other time I worked with you, that's what we used to do the payments. So yeah, I'm very
Yes.
aware that that's what you've been using, QuickBooks. I've actually checked them out online. Yeah, and a couple of payment systems. So I've been looking around also. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so for the business, of course, for sure, it has to come through. If not for
Yeah.
this license thing, I would have started long ago.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah,
huge
yeah,
market. Think about even the number
yeah.
of immigrants that
Mm-hmm,
Canada is looking to receive. I think it's like
mm-hmm,
hundreds of thousands of people that are
mm-hmm,
supposed to be coming like every single year. So
mm-hmm,
that's a huge market to serve. Okay. Now, I think you asked before about some other tools in terms of payment processing, right? Like
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
how to collect payment. What do you have in mind? Like where do you see most of your clients coming from?
Okay, so the thing is, it's mostly like a referral kind of thing. So let me say for now, mostly Ghanaians. Like for now, mostly Ghanaians. And once it becomes more, like once I bring it out, I think I should be expecting clients from other regions, like from other countries or races.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, kind of,
Mm-hmm.
yes. So, but for now, I know for sure a lot of people will be from Ghana. Because the thing is, when you help somebody, somebody refer you to somebody. Like so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So Ghanaians here in Canada, and then
Mm-hmm.
Ghanaians back home.
Okay. Now, in terms of a payment processing system, it would depend on what payment options are available in the countries you're looking at. Say in Ghana, like I'm originally from Cameroon, and credit card
Mm-hmm,
system is not really something that is
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
effective there. But most online payment portals
mm-hmm,
expect like it by default it's or you could always pay by credit card. But if that's not where your clients are, or if your clients are not able to make payments by credit card, then you need to figure out a different way that you will you will be able to make your business and the payments be
mm-hmm,
seamless while also accommodating for the fact that hey, these people can't actually pay me using the ways that I'm suggesting that they can pay me in. So
mm-hmm,
that would be part of you figuring out how are your clients going to pay you, And then it's
Yeah.
that decision that would inform what tools you would put in place for them to make payment.
Yeah. So for inside Canada, most of them can use either e-transfer or they can do direct deposits. They are fine by that. They
Hmm.
can do that. But from outside Canada, Africa, Ghana, card system, card payment system is not very popular there. Though they do have it, but few people can actually use it. So what
Yeah.
most of the people can do is bank deposits. They can deposit inside the bank. Or there is another thing they call mobile money. I don't know if it is common
Yes.
in America, Cameroon too. Yeah.
Yeah, mobile money is very common in Cameroon as well. Most African countries do that.
Good. So there is mobile money there, and then their mobile money accounts are linked to their main bank account, so they can do that bi-directional transfer of money from their bank account into the mobile money account, and from the mobile money account into the bank account. So,
Hmm.
for example, if somebody has money in the mobile money, that person can transfer to my bank account in Ghana.
Hmm.
And then sometimes getting the money from Ghana to Canada, that's also another problem.
Right. So then
Yes.
you need to think about, here's something that I usually
Mm-hmm.
think about. If I want to do something and I'm wondering how to do it, I ask myself, who has already done this thing that I'm trying to figure out?
Mm-hmm.
And what process do they have that I could use but improve to make it work for me and make it even
Mm-hmm.
better?
That's the literature review, right? So we have to review what other people have done and what has been working for
Yes.
them and see best ways
Yeah.
that you can improve to suit your situation. Yes, so
Yes.
for that, I've actually done that, but I think few of them that I saw is mostly the online payment. So,
Yeah. Okay. So the reason I mentioned that is just because the system already exists that other people are doing,
mm-hmm,
it doesn't mean they're doing it correct.
mm-hmm,
Just because it's I won't say it's a new market, a newer market, but it's, I don't know, I think there's some loopholes there. And what I'm thinking, because I've kind of seen some people do this where they will use the mobile money, for example. You're a Canadian business. So you're gonna
mm-hmm,
be Patrick Immigration Consultancy Inc., for
mm-hmm,
example. That is a legal business. And the bank account in Ghana, is it owned by Patrick's Consultancy Inc. or is it owned by Patrick? You
yeah,
get what I'm saying? And does that
mm-hmm,
mean that Patrick's Consultancy Inc., the Canadian business, has a branch in Ghana? Or what does that
mm-hmm,
mean?
yeah,
Right.
yeah, I get
And
it.
if it
Yeah,
means it has a branch in Ghana, now,
mm-hmm,
how is it supposed to be taxed? For the sales that are being done in Ghana, are those
mm-hmm,
considered Canadian sales because it's a Canadian company? Or is it not? Right. So
mm-hmm,
those are things that in doing your studies, you have to ask yourself or look like, yeah, what are these other people doing? I've seen somebody who has a business here, and I'm not going to mention names. He has a business right here in Canada, and he has the same business name in his home country, and I will not say the
mm-hmm,
name of the country. He has a business here in Canada. Let's say it's called Idas Consulting Inc.
mm-hmm,
And it also has the same business in Cameroon, Idas
mm-hmm,
Consulting Inc. But it's a
mm-hmm,
completely different business. We just use the same name owned
mm-hmm,
by me, and we're
mm-hmm,
using the same name in both countries so that we can transfer money between ourselves,
mm-hmm,
and it's the same company,
mm-hmm,
but it's not.
mm-hmm.
And so somebody could say, oh, that's what I do. And Patrick could say, oh, I could do that also. Does it mean
Mm-hmm.
it's correct? Or
No.
does it just mean it's been flying under the radar and
Mm-hmm.
nobody has looked at it yet? And eventually, when they look at it, then it becomes a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So those are things that you
Mm-hmm.
want to look at, see what other people are doing, see what you can do to make it better
Mm-hmm.
and make it work for you while being legal in the way you're doing it. So it's great that you're going to the school to get this diploma course, and that would be
Mm-hmm.
an environment where a lot of people are probably doing a similar thing, and now it's a matter of looking among them to see, hey, how are you guys setting this up to collect
Mm-hmm.
payments in places that don't have a payment processing system? Because
Mm-hmm.
if your business could receive payments online everywhere, then it solves the problem. They go to the same payment portal, they make payments directly, it comes to the business in Canada, that's it, that's all. But because it doesn't, say for example, Ghana doesn't have an advanced credit card system right now, maybe in a year it will, but right now it doesn't. How do you solve that problem of receiving payment with mobile money without creating a new situation for yourself? Like, is Patrick earning income in Ghana? Oh, okay. And Patrick is a Canadian citizen. Okay, that means he's supposed to be taxed on his worldwide income, right? So now what's the implication to him tax wise, for example? So those are things you want to look at.
Mhm. Yeah, you're actually opening my eyes to to some angles, things that I never thought about anyway. Like I said, yeah, I'm growing, so it's very good I came here. So, but then we have more to talk about. So I'm actually enjoying this. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the part that most people don't realize when they start a business is that you have to pay taxes. We spoke about that already. But when it actually comes to the time of paying the taxes, people are like,
Mhm.
is that how much I have to pay? Like, why am I paying that? So
They are surprised at the amount
they're
they
surprised.
are
There's a
paying.
lady who
Yeah.
made some money and she's saying,
Mm.
I paid $29,000 in taxes. I don't understand why I'm paying that. I'm like, okay, but how much did you make? Okay, but did you keep the money aside to go pay the taxes? Like, no, I used to though. Okay, now you owe the government. You don't want that.
Wow. Yeah. So you just have to take it aside.
You need to be aware. And that's
Hmm.
it's great that you're here right now and we're talking about this. So you
Hmm.
know what you're getting into.
Hmm.
And you know that if you make a profit, you have a tax rate, a percentage that will be applied on that profit
Hmm.
to be paid as taxes. And so it's about setting those funds aside, knowing that you're gonna pay taxes at the end. Or another thing is then to reinvest in the business so that, and I'm not saying avoid taxes, but if you have to pay, for example, $10,000, but you
Hmm.
also had $10,000 of expenses that you could have paid for things that would help the business to continue to go. Like, what's the smarter move right there? The smarter move would be go ahead and make those purchases that you would have made anyway for your business, so that as the money is going out, it's not going out as as a lost money going out, but it's
Hmm.
helping to grow the business.
Hmm.
If you're ready to take action on your life today, check the link in the description below. You will get some free resources that you will get started on today.
So in case, so for my case, I was trying to test the water. So what I did was I registered the business, but I've not done anything.
Incorporated?
Like, yeah, I've incorporated. I just did the registration. I got the papers, everything, but I've not used it. So does it mean this year when I'm filing taxes, I have to file taxes for the business, or because I've not used
If it's
anything?
been
Like, I just created it. I just wanted to see how it is. Yeah, so I just paid money, registered everything, and then the papers are there. So it's just an empty, it's just an empty business. Yeah. So the registration documents are there.
Can I ask you a silly question?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
The baby has been born. Do you give it a name?
Of course you can. Of course you can.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, I actually have
Okay.
names
No,
that
no, no. I'm saying
that
you
are.
have a baby right now. Okay, that's not the
Mhm.
one. If the baby has been born, should we? I don't know. Okay, silly question. All right. Yes, if from the time you created from the time you created the business, or from the date the
Mhm.
business is incorporated, it
Mhm.
has a maximum of 53 weeks,
Mhm.
which would be the length of its first fiscal year.
Mhm.
And then 6 months beyond that, like within the 6 months that follow the max 53 weeks, it's supposed to file its taxes. Does that make sense?
Mm. Yeah. So you mean like, so you have 53 weeks
That's
for,
the max, yeah.
yeah, the
Because a year
max.
is
So after,
52 weeks, right?
mhm.
A year is
So after the
52 weeks. So
53 weeks, like you have six
uh
months to file for, like to file taxes for the business. Yeah.
yeah, you have a 6-month deadline to file the
Hmm.
taxes
To
for the
file
business.
taxes.
So even if the business is inactive, you still
Hmm.
have to file its taxes. So even if you're
Mm.
filing a nil return, that's
Mm.
you still have to file it.
Mm. So it's going to be zero, I guess.
If there's no expense for the business, yes, then it's if there's
Yeah.
no transactions for the no income, no expense, no deposit, no nothing, then it's gonna be zero filing.
Yeah. Zero.
It's a Quebec business, right?
No, right now I'm not in Quebec again. Yeah, so I just
Where are
wanted
you?
to tell you that. Yeah, so I'm in Ottawa now, like Ottawa,
Okay.
Ontario. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we had to move to Quebec, to Ottawa.
Okay.
Yeah, because of some medical licenses and those kind of things. So my wife is a medical doctor, so she
Okay.
needs to get her license. And in Quebec, the French and everything, she cannot. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's
Okay.
very it's very hard for her because the licensing process is one of a hell, and then learning French also is another thing. And we are not like we are not francophone people, so
Yeah. You originally came from a different province before moving to Quebec, right?
yeah. I came to Quebec because of the job I got here. So I
Yeah.
got a job here, and then I had to come here. But then right now, like it's more of a remote job, so I
Okay.
can be doing it from Ottawa. So yeah,
Okay.
so we have to be there. So October, I'll be yeah in October, yeah. So ending of October
Mhm.
28th, yeah, we'll be going there. So that one too, we have to file taxes in Ontario, right? I guess so.
You filed taxes based on your residence on the 31st of December.
Oh, okay. So then
So
that
even
time
if you
will be
lived in
on.
Quebec until December 30th and you relocated to Ottawa on the 31st
Mhm.
and your address on the 31st is Ottawa, you file taxes based on Ottawa's rate
Oh, okay, cool.
for the individuals. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Okay, yeah.
you're relocating this month to Ottawa.
Yes. So
Okay.
because of that, I
Okay.
registered everything in Ontario. Yeah,
Okay.
I
So
registered everything in
it's a
Ontario.
federal corporation or it's an Ontario corporation?
It's a federal in Ontario, so I think so. Yeah. So I have the
Federal
federal. Yeah,
incorporation and then you did the extra
yeah,
provincial.
extra. Yeah. Extra provincial. Yeah, with Ontario. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the two of them.
All right. There's an annual return that has to be filed anyway for Ontario. I don't know if there's a payment for it, but you have to file to Service Ontario every single year for your corporation.
Mm-hmm,
That's just keeping the enterprise register up to date for
mm-hmm,
that is an actual business that exists there.
mm-hmm,
And then for federal corporations as well, you have annual filing that has to be done, which is also to update the annual register. I think it's just about $12 that you pay to them.
mm-hmm,
And so those would be your only, if Ontario is applicable, then that plus the federal will be your only two tax um, business expenses. Like if
mm-hmm.
everything else considered is like you didn't pay anything else, but you paid
Mm-hmm.
for incorporating the business, right? You paid about
Yeah,
$200 to federal for incorporating the
I see that.
business. You
Yeah.
did. Yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
that 200 plus the $12 you're going to be paying plus whatever you pay to Ontario, those are business expenses. That would be a loss to your business for the first year, but that gets to be carried over to whatever period. But yeah,
Mm.
you're
So
excited and you wanted to see what the incorporation looks like, so you just created it.
yeah. I just created it. Just moving around, trying to see what is going on. There are certain things
Yeah.
I even have to change it, like the address and everything. So yeah, so I'll update that one, those ones
Hmm.
later. Yeah, the address and everything.
Yeah. Okay. But it was anyway, so it was never created as a Quebec company, it was created directly as a federal, so that's fine. You don't need to
No, it
like
wasn't
cancel the Quebec
created
side of
as
things.
Quebec.
It's
No, it wasn't
yeah.
created
Okay,
as
that was
Quebec.
smart because you knew you were moving already.
Yeah, I just wanted to make it federal. Because for Quebec, I know there are a lot of things. Because here, if you want to do anything, like Quebec is very different. Whenever you want to do everything, Quebec is very different. If you want to do everything,
Hmm.
Quebec is very different. So I knew, okay, let me do it federal so that at least, Canada wide.
Yeah.
And in case it has to be in Quebec, then, I'll find
You
ways of
register.
making it here in Quebec. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, for me, there's no big difference between federal and Quebec in terms
Mm-hmm,
of your ability to do business
mm-hmm,
worldwide. You still do business. It's just in terms of like if you're a federal incorporation, then your name is protected across Canada, as
mm-hmm,
opposed to it just being within Quebec. It doesn't necessarily protect your name across
mm-hmm,
Canada. So that would generally be the upside to registering federally.
mm-hmm,
Besides the fact that if you intend to move, then yeah. Otherwise, like right now, you're moving and you would have been keeping a Quebec corporation. Now you have to keep filing things for Quebec. So it's good you
mm-hmm,
just thought about that
mm-hmm.
and did the federal right away.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's more information than you thought. It's deeper than you thought, but you're on the right track. You're
Yeah.
you're doing your research to see what you're
Mm-hmm.
getting into. and
Mm-hmm.
that's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I've been thinking about this thing for a very long time. I've been thinking about it for a very long time. Like I said, it's like someone that's you someone who has learned the job from his father. You know, back home, like what your parents do, you do. So let's say if your father
Yeah.
is a carpenter, he went alone to school to learn carpentry, but you follow him around and you actually know everything that a carpenter does. But
Yes.
you
Yeah.
need, paper. That's what the word
Yeah.
says. You need to get a paper to put on it to make things, more proper. So yeah, so that's what I'm working towards. Once I get all these papers, done, then yeah, full option. I'm inside.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me ask you a question though.
Mhm.
What is it that made you want to do immigration consultancy?
Okay, so what is happening here is for Ghanaians, most of them, a lot of people say different things here and there, social media, but it is not organized. And the information that they are giving out there are in pieces. So this person says this person says that. But then what is the way out of it? And is there any proper education about these immigration things? Because it's very important for people to actually have a deeper understanding of it and actually talk about it and know what is there, right? But they don't get that. It's like hearsay, hearsay, hearsay. This person says this, okay, I heard this here and there, but then is this a verifiable source? No, right? So I just want to step in, and maybe someone who is very young, I think it should really help me a lot because right now there are a lot of youthful people who are coming into Canada, and it really helped me if I'm able to do this to actually um, let's say partner with them to help them, in these immigration issues. So one thing that I intend to do is like a podcast to talk mainly about these issues, like immigration issues, because I think a lot of people need to know what is actually there. So if you are seeking for asylum, what is it in there? What are you supposed to do? What are the information out there? What is the proper way to go about it? If you are doing family sponsorship, what do you have to know? Like what information do you have to know, requirements and everything. So we have to start talking about these things, like, so having a podcast and then talk about this maybe every weekend that the Ghanaian community or maybe the African community, a lot of people can join, so it will be myself and maybe other people who are knowledgeable in these kind of things, and then we dissect these issues, deeper for them to have a proper understanding of it, both in English and maybe the local languages for people
Mhm.
who, are not very good in English, something like that. Yeah. So that is the focus. Yeah.
Wow, that's deep, and that's a great desire to want
Yeah.
to step up and be like that person who brings the right information to the
Yeah.
community.
Yeah. So when I
It,
came here, when I came to Canada, I was very busy because of school and everything. So there was one guy who kept, pestering me here and there to help me come to Canada. So he was the first person that I tried him with this kind of a thing. So I showed him
hmm,
what to do, left and right. Okay, do this, do that, and then boom, he got a visa. So the next person came. Okay, Patrick showed me the way. Okay, do this, do that. Boom, then. So I realized that I have a lot of information that I have to help these people with, because people do
yeah.
not read. One, people do not read, and sometimes too, when people read, their level of comprehension is much more different from how you comprehend things. So I,
Yes.
I I think for me, you have a very good understanding of procedures and processes. So I think I should use that as opportunity to help them, and at the end of the day, get something from it also. So it's like killing two birds with one stone. Yes. So I cannot do a good thing and just go empty-handed. At least I have to be appreciated for my efforts. So that's why I'm actually taking it into the business side.
That is great. And one thing, something I posted on my LinkedIn today. I don't know when this
Mhm.
podcast is gonna go up, but it's on my LinkedIn that I posted today, October 13th. And I was saying that entrepreneurs
Mhm.
are the solution that every
Yeah.
single community is looking for, and they don't even realize that
Mhm.
that's the solution. Like if
Mhm.
every problem that every single community has,
Mhm.
there is an entrepreneurial solution to it.
Yeah.
And so it's how do we create more entrepreneurs
Mhm.
in those particular communities. Because who's an entrepreneur is somebody who finds a problem
Yeah.
and brings a solution to it.
Mm-hmm.
We have activists who will find problems and complain and talk about it, but
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneurs would find a solution to it
Mm-hmm.
and find a way to get paid while doing
Yes.
it.
Exactly. So they actually, they walk the talk. They don't just actually come and be talking. Okay, they actually put it into action. Yeah. And at the end of the day, they need to be appreciated for what they have, what
Yes.
they do. Yeah. It keeps coming up to me each and every time. So it is high time that I do it. So that is the reason why I'm even doing this. Immigration thing at Queen's University is very expensive. It's like $15,000, but I want to do it. Yes. I want to do it. When
Hmm.
I tell people, they're like, "What are you doing?" I said, "Yeah, I know what I'm doing. That's why I'm doing it." So when I'm done, then I come back. You know the reason why I did it. Yeah.
There is a huge market to serve. It's just waiting for the person to come out and do it. It's the same thing I'm
Yeah.
doing right here on
Hmm.
my YouTube, right?
Hmm.
There's a lot of misinformation out there. You see what I do
Hmm.
on TikTok as well.
Hmm.
There's
Yeah.
so much misinformation. People are afraid to work and earn money because they're afraid of paying
Hmm.
taxes. But I'm like, put it in your RSP. That's an
Hmm.
option.
You know, I told my people about you. Like I told my
Go
brother, I have
on.
a brother here. Yeah, and I have a couple of friends. I have a very large community here in Canada. Like, so I was telling them that wow, when I was in Toronto, I was filing taxes, but I didn't. But I came to Quebec. I found one lady online, and she did my taxes for me. And wow, very professional, very great. So they were like, they thought you were in Toronto, but I said no, she's in Quebec. She's very good. Like she's very good, and she has actually been helping me. So like most of the inspiration that I get to sometimes I get from you, like how the business has
Wow.
actually been structured. Yes, because when I engage with you, everything was very organized.
Yeah.
Do this, do that, do this, do that, and the process is streamlined. But back there, some people that I used to file taxes with, it was more manual and, it wasn't very professional. Like, it's like somebody tells you, okay, this man does this thing, so go to him. So when you go, it's okay, send me this, send me that, do this, and then, that is all. So it's like, wow.
Yes.
Like, I'm very organized. So whenever I see anyone who does things very organized, like, I'm very happy about it. Yes.
Mm.
Yeah,
Wow.
because
Well, thank
I
you.
used to file
That.
taxes to some people, but it wasn't organized for me.
Yeah.
Just African kind of business. Okay, let's do this, do this. It's like,
Let
okay.
me tell you something, which truth be told, right? Um I have very few clients in the African community.
Mm-hmm.
Very few, because the same thing that you appreciate,
Mm-hmm.
the professionalism, the
Mm-hmm.
organization, some
Mm-hmm.
people cannot stand that. And I don't know
Exactly.
how to do business any other way. It has to be
Mm-hmm.
organized. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, okay. You sent me an email and I said, okay, Patrick, this is what I need. I sent you an email. I said, send me this, send me this, send me this. And boom, you send back everything exactly as I was like, wow,
Mm-hmm.
okay, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
good. Okay. So there are still people in my community who can do
Mm-hmm.
things the way that it's supposed to be done. So
Yeah.
it's and it might sound egotistical, but for me it's just who I am. Just like you're saying, you're
Yeah.
very organized, and then you're
Mm-hmm.
impressed and happy that you found somebody
Mm-hmm.
who was also organized from your
Mm-hmm.
own community. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, like, yeah, we can do this. And I'm glad that I
Mm-hmm.
could be an inspiration for you to even
Yeah.
want to go out and do it, because
Mm-hmm.
it's doable. It's just we need more people with that entrepreneurial mindset to
Mm-hmm.
want to bring solutions to those problems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's the one. Like it's very difficult getting people to, because okay, this is what I think. I think they are not very used to, or most of them, I don't know, maybe it's because of education or something like that. So they don't really appreciate these things. And then it, when you try to tell them to do it this way, they feel like it's like a long process to them. Like, why? Let me do it. They feel like it's a long process. So, for example, for me, instead when somebody contacts me, then I say, okay, do they send this to my email, send this to this, okay, call me at this time. They feel like you are being too stretchy, but that is how things are supposed to be done. and
Yeah.
then we can keep track of everything. That's
Yeah. No, it has to be that way. And for me, okay. For example, I do have WhatsApp, which I use for business.
mm-hmm,
And the reason I use WhatsApp is just because it's easier for some people
mm-hmm,
to contact me on WhatsApp.
yeah,
But I would say, please don't send me the stuff on WhatsApp. Not because I
mm-hmm,
won't see it, but because I reset my WhatsApp very often. Because if I'm trying to clean up my phone, I'm going to clean up
mm-hmm,
the things that are on WhatsApp.
mm-hmm,
But I don't do that to my email. So if you've
mm-hmm,
sent me something by email, I have it. If you
yeah,
send me something by WhatsApp, I would use it, but maybe 1 year down the road when I want to go back and refer to that thing, I won't
mm-hmm,
see it.
yeah,
So
yeah,
so email is a very organized way of sending those
mm-hmm,
things.
mm-hmm,
And somebody might look at it like extra work, but it's
mm-hmm,
actually easier work for you down the road
mm-hmm,
because next
mm-hmm,
year, when Revenue Quebec or Revenue Canada or the government is saying,
mm-hmm,
Patrick, send us the proof of XYZ, and you remember that you have sent it to me,
mm-hmm,
and you
yeah,
email me, say either, do you have a
mm-hmm,
copy of this? I would say, yes, I do, and I send it to you. If you send it on WhatsApp,
yeah,
I don't have it.
yeah,
It's gone.
yes, yes, that's true. Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
more, it feels like more work,
mm-hmm,
but we don't do work on our phones in that way. Like I do my accounting, I do my taxes on a computer. Everything is
mm-hmm,
there. If you sent it to me by email, I have it. If you send it to me
mm-hmm,
on phone, yeah, I'll use it, but I don't think I'll
mm-hmm,
remember to transfer it to go and put it in that folder where when you
yeah,
need it 2 years from now, you will have it.
yeah,
So it's for
yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah. That's a challenge for a lot of people. They can't stand that. They want like they want things in there is a term they call papa or something like that. They want things quickly, like anyhow to get the thing done. Yes, like anyhow to get the thing done. But there are certain things you have to keep proper track of them. So, for example, for the email, anytime right now I can just go to my email, just type your name, and every email that you've been sent, every document that I've sent is actually there. So if I want to
Yes.
refer to it, I can just go straight there and then refer from whatever conversation that we had. And that's a proper way of keeping records. So
Wow. The
yeah.
immigration consultancy space is about to have a rock star.
Of course. Of course. Maybe you might hear about me. Yeah, maybe.
I
Maybe.
definitely will. And I
Yeah.
mean, we're on this side of things, we're kind of serving the same audience. So
Mm-hmm.
like all of this is
Yeah.
newcomer finance. It's for the people who
Mm-hmm.
are coming to North America without knowing what to do. So it's
Yeah, maybe who
wait,
knows?
wait,
Maybe
wait.
as I'm just here
Yeah.
talking to you here and there. Maybe one time you wake up in the morning, you switch your television on, and then boom, Patrick is there, immigration minister for Canada. Who knows?
Oh my goodness. Who knows?
Yeah, who
the,
knows?
the
Yeah,
sky the sky is not the limit. It
yeah,
is it
yeah,
is the it's
yeah.
the place where you start at. So it's
Yeah,
I think you're
yeah,
gonna do great. Like you're setting up the
mm-hmm,
foundation to go out and
yeah,
do impactful work. So
mm-hmm,
thank you for doing that. I
yeah,
love seeing that.
yeah. Thank you too for doing what you are doing. I think I got like an hour of free consultation, right?
You did. And I got an hour of content for YouTube. So win-win.
Yeah, win-win. But then I'll come back again, like I said, definitely have to. So once I
Yeah.
get things properly, structured, yeah, I'll definitely come back. Yeah,
Hmm.
so probably the end of this year, you see me again, taxes, right? We did it
Yeah,
February
definitely.
next year. Yeah, you see me again.
It's yeah, end of February is when you're gonna get your tax slips, most of them.
Mm-hmm.
Some early
Yeah,
March, and then the filing
okay.
deadline is sometime end of April, I believe, if nothing has changed,
Mm.
end of April. So March is when I'm kind of expecting to hear from you again,
Okay, so I've
because that's
already
when my
booked my
email.
slot over there, so you see me, you hear from me again.
You've already booked it.
Of course, we just spoke and I told you about it. So April, March, February, you see me again.
Okay, remember to put it on the calendar.
Yeah. I wouldn't forget. Yeah, for that I wouldn't,
Yeah.
because I've actually been looking at it for this year. I've been putting a lot of money in the RSP, so yeah,
Hmm.
and all those kind of things, things to bring my taxes down and all those kind of things out. So for that, I wouldn't forget. Yeah,
Yeah.
you surely hear from me.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Patrick. Thanks for your time,
Hmm.
and I'm happy I was able to serve and assist you today.
Hmm.
And if you need anything, just let me know.
All right, thank you very much also for your time. So I think it's like you said, it's a win-win for everyone. Yeah, so I appreciate that. Yeah.
That's what I do. And my family says, you just do a little bit too much. I always was doing too much. But I think that lends to the place of my identity in belonging or wanting to be loved that comes along with managing money and finances.